Hello, everyone. Welcome to the class with Cherry Tom Crafts. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jessica, and today we will be showing you how to use alcohol ink to paint flowers.
Yes, this is so much fun.
Yeah.
It's also kind of tricky.
There is a little bit of like a learning curve to it.
Yeah.
But I feel like though, even if they're a little more abstracted,
Mm-hmm.
I still get the flower
Yeah.
vibes.
Mine are going to be very
Yeah.
abstract today.
Yeah. And they're just kind of fun.
They're fun. They're
And
very fun.
I think they're super great for slapping a quick sentiment on and
Mhm.
making them a card, or you can put them in an art journal, or
Mm-hmm.
I can even see like on a scrapbook layout if this was just like a flower just
Yeah.
popping out from
You can
behind
like
a
fussy.
photo.
I could see like fussy cutting it and then
Oh, yeah, that would be
kind of
cool.
sticking it somewhere.
Yeah.
I have used them in my art journals before.
Yeah.
I did fussy cut some, not a flower. It was something else, like just like a random page.
Yeah, but there's a lot of options
But
with them, and they're just pretty. Or you could just
know.
put them out as a flower.
You can just frame it,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, like how
as is.
cute. Just a, especially like just a
Cute.
little frame.
yes.
Yeah.
So, let us know in the comments. Have you ever played with alcohol ink, and have you ever tried a flower?
Yes. Also, if you have any alcohol ink questions or just crafting questions in general,
Mm-hmm.
let us know.
Let us know. Yeah. All right. So let's switch the camera, and we'll kind of show you our supplies here. Don't think the camera's switched yet. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
So,
So first you just need some alcohol inks and colors that you'd like to make flowers with. And these can be whatever brand.
yeah, whatever brand you
Um,
have, whatever you can find. We sell all kinds of brands at Cherry Top.
Yep.
We have Bria Reese, we have Tim Holtz, we have what is this one called? Couture Creations. And yeah, just pick out what colors you like. Really.
Pick up some pearls. I think a really good one is to have
Oh,
the
white.
snow cap. Just because it's like a white and you can add highlight
Mm-hmm.
and
Or like this here, I was adding like little dots.
yeah, so it's good for like the centers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would get a white for
Or
sure.
like some gold.
And then there's the pearls or
Alloys.
alloys, yeah. And they just add a different look to it. If you're using the pearls and alloys, you also should get some blending solution.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to use isopropyl alcohol with the pearls or
They'll
the
get
alloys because
chunky.
yeah, they just like clump up.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Unless you like that look. Like I've made things before, I'm like, oh, that's kind
Yeah.
of cool and
Yeah.
textury, so I left it.
But you just don't get the same look as you would
Mm-hmm.
if you'd used the blending solution.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you need the isopropyl alcohol.
Yep. So
And-
we just put them in these little eyedropper
Yep.
bottles. You can get like a pack of these wherever, but it's just nice to have eyedropper.
And you get the isopropyl alcohol just from like your local pharmacy
Mhm.
or grocery store. Just
Yep.
regular alcohol.
Yep. And so we just keep refilling these,
Yep.
and it's just really handy.
Yeah, so we
to
just
have.
got a jug.
Yeah,
and then
we got like a big old container and
Fill
then
it up.
refill these. Um, be careful to like always put your lid back on because you may spill.
Yeah. Yeah,
We are known to just spill
But
things. knock
then
things over.
because it's alcohol, then we just call it cleaning.
Oh yeah,
We're just cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Other tools we use, we are going to use some paintbrushes. So just
Yeah.
grab like a skinny paintbrush. Small.
Yeah, we were using really small ones. If you're working with a bigger painting,
Yeah, I
you
guess
can
maybe a bigger
you can
one.
try bigger ones, but
Mhm.
yeah, for smaller paintings, we're just using really fine paintbrushes.
And then also, what are these called? Like a
Like little
stylus?
yes,
thing?
those dot tool, but they have like this little ball at the end.
Yeah, so these are really
So like this one's Sizzix.
This is
That's Wendy Becky.
yeah, Wendy. And we also have the air blowers.
Very important. You
This
can
is-
also blow air with like a heat tool, straw, but these,
This helps give you more control. I feel
yeah,
like.
and you're not like blowing on a straw and going out of breath and
Yeah, not like passing out.
passing
while
out,
crafting.
and yeah, they're just nice.
Yeah.
You can control how much pressure by
Mhm.
how fast you pump it.
Yeah.
For these, we just kind of need like slow, even pumping.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun to play with.
Yeah.
And always keep some paper towels nearby in case you want to like just kind of blot something, you got too much of something down, and you know, spills.
And then Yupo paper.
Oh yeah, you need paper.
Alcohol, ink, you need to use a non-porous surface. So you could also use like glass. That's why we're working on the glass media mat. Let's see, I don't know, like tiles.
Yeah, tiles.
Or yeah, plastic.
Hard
So
plasticky or glass
Yupo
something.
actually isn't even paper. It's plastic. So non-porous.
And we like to cut ours down to like a nice manageable size, especially if you're beginning. It's just not as overwhelming.
Yeah.
Start with this
I even
size.
really like this size.
Oh,
This
that's
one's
cute
even
too. Yeah.
smaller. This is probably like 4x4. But
I really like that. This is a nice card size.
yeah,
whatever-
yeah, that's
whatever
it.
that
This
is.
this one's probably 4x5 ish,
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah.
But we just cut our sheets of Yupo into quarters. So, can we get
Yeah.
started?
Get started.
Yeah.
I was still finishing up this one, but I was going in with some dots there, and I was doing like some darker dots, some white dots. But to start off, I was trying like different techniques, but what I found the easiest is start with like a smaller circle, like dry it quickly, and then you're gonna add your alcohol around it to like do the petals. So we'll
Yeah.
show you how we're gonna do that here.
So grab your
Um,
color you want
Oh,
as
hi Jamie, hi Leslie.
so grab your
Budgie
color
guys
that
are
you want
here.
as your petals. And just do
I'm
one
gonna
dot in the center. If you are working with a larger piece of paper, maybe you need multiple. Or this is a really light color, so I might end up needing some more.
Well,
But
I guess mine's gonna be over there. This one.
they move around a lot, and you'll end up so like this isn't an exact circle, but that's
I'm
totally
gonna dry
fine.
mine a little bit so that it doesn't grow anymore.
I'm going to add a
Woo!
different color that's still pretty similar, just to add, I don't know, see how they mix together.
Look at my nice circle. Not very circly anymore. But I didn't want it to get super big. But this should still be workable.
Yeah. And then from there, this is where the eyedropper really comes in handy. You just want to do just one drop on the edge. So I like to put it where it's just lightly touching the color puddle, but mostly on the outside of it. So I'll just do like 2 drops. And then starting to slowly push the color into the blob. And you don't want to go so hard with the blower because this will just spread out everywhere.
And you can see I could have used probably some more ink.
Yeah, that's
But,
what I'm thinking too. I could have used some more ink.
You could always make a lot more layers. So even
Yeah.
if your first layer is kind of looks kind of lightish, not enough ink, I'd wait to go around like your next layer. So I also found it easier to do petals like not too close to each other. Otherwise, you're gonna right away blend, just make blobs. So if you have a petal here, I would leave some space, maybe do it over this way or opposite, whatever is easier for you. So add that alcohol ink right at the edge and then blow it the direction you want your petal.
And then you keep doing this until you have a full flower with full amount of petals. And yeah, you can keep layering on top of them. And I think that's where they start to look cooler.
Or more like a flower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's looking wonky right now, but that's all right. It'll look better after some more layers. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put another dab of the ink right in the middle.
Yeah, this
Because
one,
I don't have enough ink, I
this
don't
is
think.
just going to be a very light flower. I haven't made one this light.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it might be okay.
And then I'm gonna kind of like dry that a little bit so it doesn't spread everywhere that I don't want it to spread. So to dry something quickly, I just kind of do some very light, fast puffs. To kind of get that where I want it. So now my center is darker. Hopefully you can see that okay.
Gonna add some more ink and then repeat the same process again.
Yes. I'm gonna go on my alcohol. Right there. Seems good.
And alcohol ink when you go over it again with another layer, it I don't want to say like it erases it because it doesn't fully erase it, but it kind of will a little bit. So it you can just keep that in mind that when you're going over it, it will alter the layers under it.
Which can be good if you don't like those layers.
Yep.
Okay. So here's like my general flower-ish shape. These petals are super light, so they don't really look very petally yet, but we're getting there. And so far I've only used one color. Like you can go and use more and more, but with one color you can get some different shades in here with how much alcohol you use. I'm also getting it all over my hands, but you also should be, if you're doing alcohol inks, you should be in a well-ventilated area, big room. If you ever feel dizzy, you should stop.
Yeah.
Take a breather.
Yeah. Go outside.
You know, it is very smelly. It's not like overpowering,
No,
but it's
yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, if you're working with isopropyl alcohol or
yeah.
you know the smell then. So I've got some basic leaf shapes here, and I want to come in now with my paintbrush and just start to define them a little bit more. So I added a little bit of color to my glass mat, and I'm just going to start shaping them with my paintbrush. You could also just start with the paintbrush, but I like the flowiness that starting with the blower gives you.
Yeah, you won't get that flowy look with the paintbrush, but it is nice to kind of help your petals out a little bit. I'm just kind of going in with more layers.
And when I'm going with the paintbrush here, so I'm just going over the petals that I already have here, and I'm giving them like a point at the end, like how most flower petals are.
And sometimes you can kind of lose your center of the flower. Just add more ink right there in the middle, because that's what it's going to make it look more like the flower. If you have a darker center, even if your petals are wonky, if you have a dark center, that it will look like a flower.
And flowers are all shapes and sizes, and it doesn't have to be perfect at all.
And they can be very abstract.
Yeah.
Mine is
Yeah, I feel like even if you
abstracty.
you still get like the feel of the flower, and so it's still pretty cool.
So I'm just repeating the process, just kind of over and over until I really like it.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like I do for all crafting. Just
keep
going at it until you like it.
Until you like it. And then once you like it, leave it alone.
Stop. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, see, I'm losing a lot of my center there. That's okay.
So you can see how going over with the paintbrush really helps define it. And then I want to add some more color, especially toward the center. So I'm just going to drip it and start spreading this out a little bit.
My center has grown.
Yeah.
From my original circle. That was a lot smaller, but I think I need more ink. My petals are still very, very light. So.
And you can really paint anything like this. You could have like a drawing underneath that you're following. and just use a paintbrush to add the paint to it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people, including myself, forget that you can just use a paintbrush with
Yeah.
inks. Like you don't have to always blow it.
Yeah.
You can just
Yeah,
paint.
you can treat it like a regular paint.
Like watercolor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like it's pretty similar to watercolor. It's just it dries quickly.
Mm-hmm. And you're using alcohol
instead of
water.
water.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. You can use the blower to speed along some drying. Then I want to add some more smaller petals. Let's see. I'd like a darker red color. So maybe I'll just mix a little of this darker pink in with this one. And yeah, you can also mix colors with these as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw some petals. You could also do this with the blower and just get a more flowy look.
Okay. Try that a little bit. This one is turning really abstract. I think I'm going to go in with a paintbrush to help out my petals a little bit. I'm going to put my ink just right on my mat.
I want to make mine look a little more abstract, so I'm going to add some isopropyl alcohol over these petals that I just added with my paintbrush. I'm going to spread them around a little bit.
Okay. Just going to get some outlines here. Petals. Just to help this along.
And then I'll go back and forth, adding some more color. And then add some more alcohol.
And don't be afraid to just start over too. If you if it's not going the way you want it, it's okay to start over.
And I mean, the first time you try something, it's not likely to be your favorite thing ever, and you end up with the most beautiful end result. So just keep that in mind while you're doing this too. The more you do it, better you find more what you like or what techniques work. So yeah, it
takes a lot of practice.
Yeah, just give yourself some time to practice.
Yeah.
I'm
actually debating starting this one over.
Oh.
It's not going the way that I want it
I mean, it's
quite yet.
It is cool just like as a background.
I keep losing my center, so I'm adding more ink there. It looks a little bit floral-y, but
floral inspired.
Floral inspired, yes.
All right. So that's our best so far. And now I want to. Oh, maybe I'll add some leaves. Because I've got a lot of open area here and maybe up there. I think some nice big leaves would look cool. So I'll use some moss. And I've done it both ways where I just drip this onto here and use the blower to make a leaf. Or you can drip this on the side here, which I think you'd have a little more control over. That's what I'm going to do. And you want to rinse off your paintbrush before switching colors. So just make a little puddle of your alcohol and wipe it off in that. So here I've loaded up my paintbrush with the green and I'll choose where I want my leaves to go.
Mhm. I like that green.
Yeah,
It's a good leaf
it's
green.
a nice green.
What is
It's moss.
Oh, moss. Yeah.
And then I just paint in my leaf here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can just fill it in. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I might add a couple more layers with it. Add another leaf here.
I think I'm gonna start this over.
Hmm.
You know, don't love it. Starting it over, but
Start
it still
over.
it looks cool. Like I like it, but
Yeah.
it's not the floral look I'm going for.
Mm-hmm.
Starting
Well,
again.
yeah, and then if it's not getting the flower look, but
Mhm.
it's still cool,
You can still use it.
still use
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go in again. I'm gonna get my blower ready and try to keep my circle smaller-ish.
Let's see. And then I've got bigger cap over here. This one could even be like a poinsettia, like it could be a Christmas card.
Yeah. That'd be cute.
Maybe I'll go lean into that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Over there.
Look at this nice circle. This is a better starting point, I feel like.
And to define my leaf a little bit, I want to add some lighter areas. So I'll take some of the isopropyl alcohol. So my paintbrush is pretty much just the alcohol. And paint over in a few areas.
I'm definitely doing more ink this time. Because my layers were like too light. So I'm gonna start off with more ink. So far I've done 3 drops and just kind of drying them in between. That way when I add my alcohol, hopefully my petals will bloom more.
And then I also want to add like the stem part in the center. So I'm going to add a darker line there. And then maybe
Pretty.
some like little lines coming from it.
Okay, here we go. I actually kind of found I like using 2 hands. If you can. I like to drop it in my left hand and blow it in my right. My right hand's dominant. So I like to have my dominant hand blowing, more control. This way I can work a little bit faster, like before it goes the way I don't want it to go. See, that petal's a little bit nicer.
Let's see, is there any more leaves? I might just stick with 3 leaves. 3's a nice number, nice odd number. Okay, and now I'm going to go back, now that my flower is completely dry, like the center of it, I'm going to go back in here and put some dots. I'm trying to think, what does the center of a poinsettia look like?
I cannot tell you.
Well, I'll just make it like some of my other flowers, I guess. Where I'll add some white. So I'll just make a little white puddle. And then I still have some of my pink over here. Maybe I'll add a little more in case it dried up. And then I'll take this pointer tool and dab it in there and start making some dots. And when you're doing the dots, you can really go like spread them out quite a bit and have them take up some area even outside of the main circle. And I think that's what makes them look more natural. I don't think poinsettias have like that many in the center, so I don't want to overdo it. And also this white just it's like a different consistency than the rest of the alcohol inks where it will sit on top of the surface nicely. So I also want to mix a little bit with my pinkish color.
This one's not going the way I want it either.
No. You could try using like start to finish just with the paintbrush.
But I want it flowy.
Yeah.
Well, Guys, this is real life.
Rely.
Real life live. I wanted to make it like this. This is what I'm aiming for. I
It is
really
nice
like how
and
this one
flowy.
turned out because like it's abstracty, but still has some shape in there. So, third time's the charm.
Okay, so there we go. I'm pretty good with that. I think I'd leave it there.
Yep.
And then I could just, like if I was using it for a card, I'll just put a sentiment right there. Stick it on a card base, and there we go.
Cute. That's cute.
There we go. Well, if you're still going with flowy, maybe I'll try a more controlled flower, like just start to finish with using the paintbrush.
The petals are all wonky.
Maybe I'll go with, I'll do one with the pearls,
Ooh, yeah.
so you can see the difference.
So you'll need the blending solution.
Yeah, so once I'm starting with the pearls, I really don't need to use the alcohol at all. If you're starting with regular alcohol, like not using the pearls, you can start with the isopropyl alcohol, but as soon as you switch to moving to using the pearls, you should switch to using the blending solution. And also with the pearls, the little pearl bits will sit on the bottom, so shake them up first.
Shake, shake, shake.
Okay, I still want to start with my circle in the center. And then I'll take my, oh, I almost did it with the alcohol. Then, I'm so used to using the alcohol. Then I'll take my blending solution. And same way that we were applying it when doing it with the blower, I want to do a drop right here. And instead I want to grab it and pull it out using the paintbrush. And I've got a little bit of green left in this brush, so I'm getting a little bit of weird color. But I'm not too worried about it because I'll end up doing some layering. And then while this side's drying, I'll move over here. Do one about there.
Do you like my other blob?
Why
Why can't I make that one again? Why? Why? Okay, guys. I'm going to switch up my technique. Here we go. We're going to do paintbrush. Except that I got other drops on there.
I do think the paintbrush is easier for beginner when you're just because you can control it so much more.
Kind of just like make some outlines here where I want it.
Okay, and I want this to be pretty dry. Because like if I would, so this one's still wet. If I would go right here and touch this one, it would just kind of blend over there. That's why I want it to be dry there before I use it. And push it out. And alcohol does dry pretty quickly. So it's not like you have a lot of wait time with it, which is pretty nice.
Good and bad though, because like sometimes you want it to be there a little bit longer.
Yeah.
For painting purposes, but for dry time though, if you're impatient like us, it's great.
And you can use the blower too to help it dry along. And drop over here. And there we go. So there's what I've got so far. And then I want to add another layer, and I'll fill it in like these gaps. So my next layer of petals will go out like that. So another 6 petals just spread out. Maybe this layer I will do it with pink. Or maybe blue. Let's do blue. And this is still some pearls.
Do you like my flower?
You know, I'm getting like
Getting real
a
cute.
hibiscus.
Yeah, it's getting real cute over here.
I could see a hibiscus in there.
Yeah.
Whoop!
It's a wildflower. That's what I'm going for. It's very wild.
And here we go.
Very abstracty. See, now without using the blower, I'm losing a lot of that softness.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of hard edges. So I think I'll just kind of go back in here. And see what happens. So if you ever get a lot of those hard edges, just add some alcohol to it. You can soften those up. I don't really know what's going on here, this big ol' part there, but it looks kind of floral-ish, right?
Yeah. See, I like the blend of using the blower and then using the paintbrush, because like on this one I feel like it's too like it's not crazy enough. You know, it's not as quite as interesting.
Mine's very interesting.
I'm even thinking at this point I might wait for this to dry and then add some of the blending solution in like the corners and use the blower to blow it out. So it's kind of like the reverse of what I did last time. So I started with a more defined shape
and then go in
and then go in and blow it out. Where in the last one I had a blown out shape and I went in with the brushes to define it more. So I'm first starting with the purple and just dripping it right in the center and then blowing it out from there. And then I'll also do the same thing with the blue.
I think my flower is just gonna be bigger.
Yeah. It's just
Gonna
going
be
off
a
the
bigger
page.
flower. Yes. So my center is kind of like this going along here.
So I'm liking the more flowiness that this is adding to it. Okay, so there's the purple. You can see how that switched up the purple. And then look at the blue, and then we'll see how the blue is completely changed after doing this too. So I drop in the center and focusing on just one petal at a time. And then blowing out the blue. And I'm going to skip around and do like every other petal. Again, so I'm not messing with the area that's still drying.
It's very easy to mess up a good petal. Like, oh, I finally made a great petal, and then and there it goes.
There it goes. Moving on with the puddle. So it's a lot of back and forth and layering and seeing what works for you.
yeah, paintbrush or blower or yeah, a little bit of everything. And then just watch how it transforms. Like if you're going for a smaller flower, maybe it doesn't want to be a smaller
Yeah.
flower. Maybe it wants to be larger.
Big flower.
And just work with it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool the way that it can just have a mind of its own.
Mm-hmm. Okay. See how that switched up the blue? Got this hard line here I don't really like. I love how you can just, yeah, go back and forth and move things around and all that. If you don't like something, you can
Just cover it up.
cover it up. Pick it up. Get it a little bit wet
Yes.
with either the alcohol or the blending solution. Grab a paper towel. Soak it up. Try it again.
Or just start over.
Or just start over. Grab a new piece of U-Bow.
Yes. So that's why it's nice to work so small because then you can, cut up your paper and use it for a while.
This one, I've got like a lot of really light colors, so I want to stick with that. And for my center, I think it would even be cool to add like some longer lines. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll make a little puddle here of my purple alcohol pearls. Use my brush to pick it up. And make sure that this is dry. Got a little bit of a wet spot over there.
My flower grew, but I'm liking it more. It's it's like an abstracty, bigger flower. So my center is around here. My petals they're still going.
Yeah.
Still working my petals, but I like this one better.
So starting from the center, I'm just going to draw some lines.
I also think a lot of layers really makes the flower look more, I don't know, natural. More. If you just do one layer, it's like, oh yeah, it's okay.
It's okay.
But more layers make it, I don't know, gives it more depth, gives it more interest.
And I want to add some more of this purple to the center too, to start with a darker center. And then I'll start doing my dots. I really like the dots. I think it adds a lot. And then, so I got like my main circle, and then I'm going to start dotting around it. Switch to using this little poker tool. I want some dots on the ends of some of these pokey line things that I made too. And really just have fun with it.
Yeah, there's no wrong way to do it. You can try our techniques like this, or you just try out your own. See what happens.
Let us know what works for you, or what technique you like.
Okay. It's a very abstract-y flower, but actually when you start adding in some dots.
Yeah, don't give up before adding the dots.
Yeah.
The dots add a lot
to it.
Yeah,
I don't know
they
what
really
color
do.
to do.
And now I'm going to move to doing some white.
This whole thing I've only used one color. Like,
Oh,
isn't
wow,
that crazy?
that is cool.
I think I'm gonna do some dots in the moss. And then the white too. So I think I'm gonna go in with my darker dots first. Listen to some nice tapping sounds.
Yeah.
You kind of have to like be quick about it if you want to get that dot shape. Otherwise, it kind of just, I don't know. Goes forever. Look at that. Look at just adding some dots. Make
Yeah.
it look more flower-ish.
So that's what we got. Yeah. I think it's a lot lighter of a flower. I like some of these lines coming off there. And I'll call that one done. You could even so this tool has this pokier end. It's really for like poking out the backside of die cuts, but you could add some little lines or little scratchies in here too. And I like the look of that too. It's very subtle. I don't think you'd even see it on camera, but it does make a little bit of a difference.
Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the white. And I'm not going to put it everywhere.
There. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I added some of the lines there. All right.
I'm not dry yet. If your white is just kind of blending right into it, it's not dry enough.
So yeah, and the flowers change so much.
Yeah. Did you
based
see
on
how
what-
much this changed? Like,
Yeah.
whew.
I really like this one. I think it looks like a sunflower, which that one might be my favorite.
Oh, I like that one.
This one I actually still need to add some dots to. Maybe I'll add some dots. These I was still kind of going with like the same look, but
Yeah.
and same colors, but they ended up so different. You can use it on black Yupo, which
Oh,
is
that's
a lot of fun. I think this one could be like a Christmas card too. Oh, this one's actually very similar to this. Just like that light, flowy look.
Yep. I'm gonna still add more dots to this, but this is almost done. This is a very abstracty, flowy floral. And then my other pieces that I didn't like for my floral, like I still like this. I will use this for something else.
Or even like this on a card. Like
Yeah.
that's a done.
That's cute.
Yeah, add a sentiment, you're done. Or to back a photo with would
Yes.
be super
This
cool.
is one of my favorites. I did use both techniques of blowing and a little bit of the paintbrush.
Yeah.
And then
I
the
do
dots
like
at the
that.
end. And then some of my other ones, like this only, not all the petals really worked, but like I still really like it. Like it's very soft and wispy. Yeah, I like this one too.
Yeah.
So, I think that's all we have for today. We hope we inspired you to play with your alcohol inks and make some flowers, whether
Give
they
it a
are
try.
abstract or not.
Yeah.
Whether you have to go through quite a few pieces of paper, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's just crafting, having fun.
Yeah, the process of it.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
Always remember to close your things. Don't get it all over. Well, thank you for joining.
Yes, and we'll be back here live again next week
Yes.
with some new fun things to show you.
Yeah, I forget what next week's class is.
Look
at our classes
I
page.
could probably think of it
If you thought really
if
hard.
you wanna if you wanna let me think really hard.
It is.
Oh, okay.
Got it?
Yeah, we will be embroidering
Oh, yes.
on a watercolored piece of fabric.
That'll be really fun.
So watercolor embroidery,
Yes.
including it's like combining your two favorite things.
Yes, I love watercolor. I love embroidery.
Yeah.
Put them together. Yes. Okay, so make sure to join us 1 p.m. Eastern next week.
See you then.
Bye.